Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Volvagia and the Scottish Mafia singing Ho Ho Fucking Ho.
Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. I'm Rudolph and I quit, just who's he think he is? That little fat cunt sat back in the sleigh cracking that fucking whip. And me stuck up the front of these other useless cunts. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. Ho, ho, fucking ho, what a crock of shit. We all work for Santa Claus, we've had enough, we quit. Cause we do all the fucking work while he stars in the show. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. And what about ourselves? We've had enough as well. Working in that raisin factory cold as fucking hell. Working till we drop with our bollocks freezing off. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. Ho, ho, fucking ho, what a crock of shit. We all work for Santa Claus, we've had enough, we quit. Cause we do all the fucking work while he stars in the show. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. I'm Santa Claus's wife, I know what he's really like. Sneaking into them little kids' rooms, he's a fucking pedophile. A devious old drunk, and I'm married to the cunt. So stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. Ho, ho, fucking ho, what a crock of shit. We all work for Santa Claus, we've had enough, we quit. Cause we do all the fucking work while he stars in the show. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho. Stick your Christmas up your ass, ho, ho, fucking ho.
Awesome stuff. Volvagia and the Scottish Mafia, everyone. Let's have a hand for them. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. Everybody. That was awesome.
Encore.
Encore, everybody. That was great. All right, guys. How you doing? I'm Dave the Usher. Welcome to the Christmas podcast, and I am with...
Scorch 82.
Volvagia, yay.
Shadow Zach 69XX.
XX. Zach added a couple of new letters to his name. A couple new characters. How you doing, Zach?
All right.
That just makes you more badass now, right?
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
There's going to be some responsibility coming with that
So,
one.
wow, man, it's a Christmas podcast. It's a Christmas podcast, and I'm excited. Right now, it's literally snowing outside my window. What a perfect day to do a Christmas podcast.
Christmas?
Scorch, how's the weather there in up in your neck of the woods there?
Let's see. It's dry and overcast. No rain, no snow. It's boring.
Volv, what about you? Snow?
Snow everywhere.
And Zach, how about yourself?
Mushy and wet.
Awesome.
I guess Zach and I suck ass. That must be.
You live in bad areas with bad weather.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of snow up here, at least not this time of the year.
Yeah. But wow, man. Because it's a Christmas podcast, I guess, you know, hey, we'll discuss a few Christmassy things, maybe un-video game related, right?
Maybe.
And the first thing that comes to mind is, you know, what about, you know, Christmas movies, right? Because during the holidays, there's always a lot of Christmas movies on. Maybe some you grew up with, maybe new ones, maybe some you don't watch, maybe some you do or have. But what is everyone's favorite Christmas movies that they think of when it comes to this time of year? Scorch?
Let's see. Well, I got a few. The Home Alone 1 and 2 series. Those are right up my time of growing up, so those are good. Macaulay Culkin in his better days. You can't forget Bad Santa. I'm a eating, drinking, shitting, fucking Santa Claus. Can't forget that movie. Everyone knows that we love that. Christmas Story, for sure, because it's on all the time. TBS runs the 24 hours on Christmas Day or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, then screw you. Christmas Vacation is a good one. Uncle Buck and I think Hook. Hook was a good one.
Hook.
Yeah, I remember that one from when I was a kid. Yeah, so those are some of the movies that I like when it comes to
I
Christmas
guess Hook
time, you know?
is technically a Christmas movie, right? Wasn't it happening around Christmas?
It happened at Christmas.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
What about you, Volv?
Prince and the Pauper, which is like the Mickey Mouse version of it, because it has a lot of Christmassy atmosphere, and I watched it when I was a kid at Christmas, but other than that, just Home Alone, because it's on every goddamn year.
Mm-hmm.
But
No Scottish Christmas movies? They don't have any,
There's no
like,
such
specific
thing.
Scottish movies?
no, there's no such thing.
Huh? Volv, by the way, I just have to say, going back, you and the Scottish Mafia performed one hell of a song. That was great. Did you guys practice that?
Yeah, we practiced their British accents over our Scottish ones all day long.
Well, I'm also sorry, Volv. I'm not going to be able to pay you for this gig.
Oh.
You're going to have to break the news to your boys. They'll probably want to chop off your nuts. You see, for those of you who don't know, who are listening to this podcast, Volv is part of the Scottish Mafia. And we had them in to play, a little song for us. Right, Volv?
They won't want to kill me. They'll want to kill you for not paying them.
Volv, what instrument do you play in the band?
Well, I play...
Why the bagpipes, of course.
Oh, you play the bagpipes.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Bull, I'll
I'm
make
not
sure to
gonna-
get the demo tape out. I can hook you up.
So, any other Christmas movies, Volv?
No, like I said, there's no such thing as Christmas movies here.
Zach, what
Oh.
about you?
There's really only two movies that I ever see on Christmas around this time anymore. That's Christmas Story and the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh yeah, Charlie Brown Christmas.
But those
Christmas
two
Story.
stand out for you?
It's the only movies I see anymore.
What about
Alright.
Frosty the Snowman? I forgot to say Frosty the Snowman.
I don't
Yeah.
watch that shit.
Man, what do you
Claymation.
know? What does Zach 69XX know?
Frosty ain't got nothing from Tim Burton.
I haven't seen those cartoons in a while, but yeah, I used to watch them as a kid all the time. Frosty the Snowman and the other one you were talking about. Oh yeah, Charlie Brown Christmas. Actually, another one I used to watch as a kid. It was a Jim Henson kind of a thing. It was called The Christmas Toy. I don't think anyone remembers that, but it it's the puppets and all that crap. That
Oh
was
yeah,
some
I don't
old
remember
shit.
that one.
You mean the
But other
Muppet?
than that, yeah, you guys already touched on it. A Christmas Story, that's hilarious. One of the best Christmas movies of all time. Home Alone 1 of 2, of course. Here's a movie no one mentioned yet. A movie that's so bad that it's just hilarious because it's so stupid. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Put that cookie down now! Those are my cookies.
What
And
about The
then
Nightmare Before
Sinbad.
Christmas? That's a
It's-
good Christmas movie.
It's so terrible. It's so terrible. It's just so awesome.
Wasn't Sinbad in that movie too? He played the mailman.
Yeah.
It was.
The mailman.
Turbo Man.
Oh yeah, it's turbo time. And then of course, as far as more adult movies go and naughty movies, I just love Bad Santa. Scorch, fuck me, fuck you.
You're fucking with me.
And I think
Sit there playing like the deadlights are falling off of you.
the two most hilarious scenes in that movie is when the kid cuts his hand by mistake, and
Of course it's by
then
mistake.
Santa shows up to work drunk, and he rides the escalator up the stairs, and he falls on the floor, and the reindeer, one of the display reindeer, is looking down at him, and he gets pissed off, and he starts hitting the reindeer and going crazy. That is just hilarious. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out.
He pissed himself.
And then, even though I don't really consider it a Christmas movie, technically Ghostbusters, like 2's in there. But I don't really count that.
That's why it's at the end of the list.
So you gotta love a good Christmas movie. But it's Christmas time, and you got a lot of shit to do. And one thing you gotta do is shopping. You gotta shop during Christmas. Who here has crazy shopping stories? Volv?
For the past 3 years, I've done my shopping online, so not really too much in that part. But every time that I go into work, because I work in a store, it's always jam-packed with Christmas idiots who are like frustrated, angry, and ready to kill people if they buy the last item in front of them. But,
Wow.
A
mob of
really.
angry Scots. That is
Well,
terrifying.
It's like an everyday occurrence, though.
Such horrible.
It's how we recruit people in the Scottish Mafia. We just find angry Christmas people and we recruit them, and then we teach them how to kill people.
See,
Comes
Volv's
in every
moving
day.
up in the mob. He used to be the janitor. Now he's the dishwasher guy. So I've heard.
Oh God.
But Zach, what about you? What's going on with your shopping this year and previous years?
Done all my shopping online this year, last year, but I remember like the last time I went actual shopping, like during like the last 2 days of shopping, like the 23rd, I guess, man, it was crazy. People getting shot and mugged at the malls and stuff. It was like, yeah, I don't think I want to wait this long next year. So I decided to just do all my shopping online.
Yeah. So you
Cheaper
you
and
got it
safe.
all done?
Hell no. I still gotta get my mom wants a blender, like one of those fancy like $300 blenders.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man,
You're
no.
not going to be able to steal that, Zach. You can't
I
download
know,
that
I
off the
can't, I
internet.
can't download that yet unless
Yeah,
Yeah,
download
for
a picture of
making-
it from the
making
internet.
daiquiris and margaritas.
That'd be great if you,
You know,
could
because she's a
download a blender.
party gal.
She's a pretty kind of gal.
What if you could download blenders and toasters on the internet,
I would pirate them in a heartbeat.
just like media? That'd be
Zach
awesome.
would open up a
ISO
stall.
Blintech blender.
So Scorch, what about you? What's going on with your shopping?
Let's see. Well, I'm not a big fan of crowds, so I really don't like going anywhere near the mall, like anytime after Thanksgiving. So about Black Friday, no, I don't do that. So most of my shopping is usually done online, or if I'm in places where, like, it's maybe not so busy and I managed to see something somebody would like. But I remember there was one year before I really understood what it meant to have like bad mall traffic around Christmas time. I think it was a couple of years after I started driving. My brother and I were coming back from the city, and we decided to stop at the mall to buy something. And if anybody ever goes to the mall during Christmas time, they know that like parking is just horrible. It's just horrible. So we're sitting on the street waiting to turn into the complex. And I'm looking off to the side to see if there's any empty spots, like in the back ass row, so we can, not have to worry about driving around looking like assholes forever. So, lo and behold, I guess, like, traffic was moving forward pretty slowly, and then as I was looking in the parking lot off to my right for an empty spot, everyone stopped. So I rolled into the guy in front of me and put a big ass hole in my hood, because it was a giant SUV, and, like, the lady in the car like got out and like looked at me and was like, and got back in, and then we left. So then when we parked, I looked at it and I was like, fuck, So that kind of ruined my my whole going to the mall experience.
Parking lots suck.
Yeah,
So that's why you don't like big crowds?
I don't like big crowds anyway, but yeah, that didn't help.
You see, folks, this is why Scorch never does autograph sessions at the mall. Right? No big crowds.
That's never come up, but now that you think about it, it kind of makes me sad.
So are you done all your Christmas shopping?
Yeah, I waited to the last minute to do
Alright.
it this year, so I was kind of unfortunate, but
Awesome.
yeah, I'm done.
Me, on the other hand, I have not finished my Christmas shopping. Maybe I'll go after this podcast and finish it up. I gotta go to the mall, pick up maybe a couple of small things.
You got 2 days last day before you run out of time.
But, oh wow, last year, I have a story last year. I think I told this story in my Lufia 2 walkthrough somewhere. But last year, I went to the mall, and, you're just walking, up and down the rows and looking at the stores and wondering where to go next. Walking around like a fucking zombie. But anyway, I'm down at the first level of the mall, walking. And you know how they have those kind of little stores out in the middle? Like the little carts. And there are people just standing there, and they kind of like to stop you as you pass them by. Well, there was this chick there who was selling like perfume and I don't know, women crap. I don't know. I'm a man. I don't pay attention to that. So she stops me and she like literally grabs my hand and pretty much just starts flirting with me right off the bat, saying, hey, oh, hello there. Oh, you so cute, strong hands. And she had this like crazy accent. And, oh man, it was just crazy. I could barely understand anything she said. She's like, here, you need to check this out. And oh, you're so cute. Oh, your mother really like your girlfriend. You have girlfriend? And I'm just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Just trying to get out of it. I'm like, no, I don't want anything. Get away from me. Of course, I didn't say that. But I'm trying to get out of it. She keeps insisting. And then she's like, here, you must try product and blah, blah, blah. So the next thing you know, I got my other bags down on the floor. She's got my hand. She's throwing crap on my hand. I don't know. It's a different color than my skin. I'm really scared. I don't know what's going to happen here. Things are getting nuts. So she's wiping all this creamy crap all over my hands. It smells like ass. And she's like, oh, it's great. It makes so smooth and blah, blah, blah. You buy and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, thank you. And I literally had to, like, run away from her. Like, could you just, like, kind of picture that image of, like, you know, some guy in the mall all of a sudden going, no, and just running away from some girl in the middle of the aisle. It was quite a scene. But, you know, actually afterwards, I was upstairs, and I was looking down below, and I saw her there, and she was still doing it to other guys. And, like, she was grabbing this other guy. I'm like, oh, my God. I wonder if she gets paid by the customer, you know? It was quite crazy. I was a little scared. It was semi-sexual.
Did you feel a little violated after?
I did feel. My hand felt violated. I got hand raped by this chick. But, wow. I made it out of there alive, and my hand is okay. I'm glad to report. Awesome stuff. Whew. So, enough about shopping. What about Christmas Day itself, guys? What do you do? What's your Christmas Day consist of, Scorch?
Christmas Day consists of animal sacrifice and ritual slaughter.
Awesome.
That's about it. And on the true side of things, we don't actually do much. My Christmas Day usually consists of going over to my parents' house or some close family friends who have a house on the water. We usually go and we have dinner. We catch up on old times. We don't see them very often. It's pretty low key. We usually do like a turkey or a ham. Nothing on the scale of Thanksgiving or anything like that, but it's usually pretty fun. But I remember like past Christmases, my dad, he was always like one that slept in really late. So like when you're a kid and it's Christmas morning and you're waiting for like 10 days beforehand, you're like, when am I getting my presents? I'm making my presents. Holy shit, fuck, Christmas is coming. And you're a kid, you can't settle down. Well, just one thing for someone to sleep in till 11 o'clock on Christmas Day when you're a kid, like, ruins your whole morning. So, now that I'm older and I understand the value of not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, sleeping, it's not as, I've noticed that as I've gotten older, I haven't looked forward to Christmas as much, which I kind of miss. But
Scorch, we can relate something to that right now. Before we did this podcast, Scorch.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't we sleeping?
Yeah, we were sleeping pretty good.
Scorch had to be my alarm clock. He had to call me and wake me up for this podcast, believe it or not.
Yeah, I had him set his phone to whisper sweet nothings in his ear.
Oh yeah. Great wake-up call.
Get your hand out of your pants and wake up.
The best wake-up call on earth is Scorch.
I can't even wake myself up. It's terrible.
But go on, Scorch.
That's about it. Our Christmas is, it's pretty standard. Kind of boring.
What do you have, what's your dinner like?
We usually do turkey or ham.
Turkey or ham. Awesome.
Sometimes, like, it depends to rotate, like, every year. We either have a big family gathering or, like, just the immediate family. So it's just me and my brother and my mom and dad, usually. But we kind of alternate.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. I mean, you get together, for Christmas. I don't even wake up early anymore, just like you said, Scorch. I don't like to get up early. It's sleep time. I'm older now. I'm not a little kid. It's not about the presents. Christmas kind of loses a little bit of that special value when you get older. It's just, I'd rather sleep. I'm sleeping till like 2 p.m. and then I get up. I shower. I brush the teeth. I do my man scratches, and then I'm just out the door to the family gathering at one of my relatives, and we just all get together, and then we have this, the big Christmas present exchange between all the relatives, all the the grandparents and the aunts and uncles and all that crap. And then we have our dinner. Usually it's ham, some mashed potatoes, and all that crap. We don't really do turkey. I don't think we've ever done turkey. It's always been ham. But good meal.
Is your crazy gravy aunt?
Yes, she is there. See, that's another reason I'm glad we don't have turkey, actually, Scorch. If you've listened to the Thanksgiving podcast, you know what I'm talking about. But I have a crazy aunt who literally shot me in the face with an Uzi because I didn't accept her gravy and put it on my turkey and mashed potatoes. So you know what? Thank God we have ham on Christmas and not turkey. Whew. Volv, what about you?
Well, things are normally pretty okay. I mean, on Christmas Day, I get up around about 11 o'clock after to go down to my mother's and, go down there, see my brothers and my sister and everyone else in that part of the family. And then we all go up to my grandparents' house, and, we sit there and catch up because, what happens with Scorch's family, we hardly see each other. So it's a case of we all just catch up on what's happened over the year and everything else. And we normally all go out to a restaurant for dinner because nobody in my family is really that bothered about, having about 18 people in their house all at once and messing things up and stuff like that. So we all just kind of go out for dinner so nobody really has to prepare their house for it. But other than that, there's nothing really much that happens. I mean, I really don't have time. And Christmas Day, I've never had time to come home and sit on the internet other than the part of 11 p.m. at night when I get home or something like that. But I have no time to really do anything I want to do in the general day. Christmas Day is consumed by whatever happens. That's pretty much it.
Hey, Volv?
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend this Christmas with you and your family?
No.
No?
I have nowhere to go.
I'd rather have a Scottish Christmas this year. Mix it up.
It's always cold here and snowy.
And depressing?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, sir, the show's over, but I have nowhere to go.
So Zach, what about you? How are your Christmases? What are you doing this year?
My Christmases are a magical adventure, Dave.
Oh no.
Oh god.
They start off with me waking up, and then I eat breakfast, and then I open a present maybe. And then, after the presents are done, my mom, she'll go and start making Christmas dinner.
Oh,
Tacos?
Let's refer back to Thanksgiving, because we had the exact same stuff for Thanksgiving at Christmas time.
Is it tacos?
So you don't have
tacos.
to leave the house even. You don't go out anywhere?
Switch it up like every other year or so. We might go back to Kentucky for Christmas to the grandparents, because every year, all my mom's side of the family, because they all live on the same road, just long stretch of road. They all live on the same road, so they all gather up at my grandma's house.
Do they call it Shadowzack Lane? That's what I call it.
Shadowzack. XX. You gotta add the XX's now.
Gotta add the 69 in there.
69. Shadowzack 69.
Yeah, it's a capital X and a lowercase x.
So what were you saying? You have ham for dinner? Or what kind of dinner do you have?
It's like turkey, ham, broccoli cheese casserole, corn on the cob, potato roll, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, cranberry stuffings.
Corn on the cob?
You don't like corn on the cob?
Well, I've never heard of it for Christmas. Probably because Shadowzack, ladies and gentlemen, is in the South. He also has possum stew.
There's actually a possum in my backyard the other day.
Possum
it was
stew?
Huge. It scared me. You're scurry.
That's a Merry Christmas.
Zach ran after us saying, "Mom, I'm gonna get some stew."
I went out there with a stick.
Look what I rustled up.
Hey, what was that? Did you guys hear that?
You're what?
I don't know. Thought I heard something. Anyway, so Zach, anything else about your Christmas day?
Nah, it's pretty average, Wake up, open presents, eat dinner,
I swear, I just heard
go
something.
about my business.
I heard something too. Zach,
What
shut
was
up for a
that?
second.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
Hello?
What's that noise?
No.
Wait, could it be?
I heard laughing.
I think it's Dave the Santa. Is that Dave the Santa?
Oh my God, I love Dave the Santa.
Hello, everybody. Hello, it's Dave the Santa. Hello, Scorch 82. Hello, Shadow Zach. Hello, Volvagia. Have you all been good boys this year?
No.
No.
Have you been good?
No.
I have Dave the Santa.
Well, I've come here for a very important reason. You see, there are some people on the website GameAnyone.com that have asked Dave the Santa some questions about Christmas this year, and they want particular items. Would you mind if I read some?
No.
No, David Santa.
Would you
go
mind?
ahead.
I don't know about this guy, guys. I think he's
Sorry.
crazy. I think he's
Sorry.
actually nuts. I think someone should call the police.
I'm doing it now.
Okay. But, Dave the Santa, I guess you should go ahead and read what you have to say here and just get the hell out of here real fast. This is getting really weird and crazy. I don't think I even understand what's going on right now. Well, thank you, Dave. And by the way, you've been a very good boy this year. Oh, and you have a very big clogmonger.
How would he know?
So anyway, I have a couple of letters to Dave the Santa here. Let's see. Let's start with who is this? Okay, this one comes from Hobag Beater. Already I can tell he's probably been a very good boy. Hobag Beater writes, "Dear Dave the Santa, this year I'd like to drink some beer with you." Oh, Bag Beater. Well, I have to say, if you're going to drink some beer with Dave the Santa, that you're paying for it. And remember, no cheap beer. And I'd prefer to do this at a strip club where Santa can get laid. What do you think, boys? Is that a good idea?
Well, I don't know. Drinking alcohol is against the rules. Against the rules.
Well, he's been a very good boy this year, and he's only beaten his wife twice. So I think I'm going to have to give it to him. The next one comes from PatQ911, and he writes, "Dear Dave the Santa, will there be a Desert Bus Part 2? Well, yes, I think I can tell you that I've talked to my good friend Dave, the usher, and he said, yes, there will be a Desert Bus Part 2. And it'll even be crazier with more guests and more pranks."
More guests and pranks?
Why, yes.
No.
Awesome.
No shotguns to the face.
Santa,
this
I
time,
don't want to
please.
discuss my work with you, okay? Calm down. You need to get the hell out of here. I'm calling the police. The next letter comes from Pitching Ace 88. And he
What's
writes,
doing on there?
"Dear Dave the Santa, I want to do a co-op with Dave the Usher." Well, Pitching Ace, you'll have to prove you're worthy to Dave the Usher and stop being pitching bitch. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Pitching Ace is worthy?
Pitching
No.
bitch.
Who the hell is Pitching Ace?
Well, you heard it, folks.
That guy that plays baseball.
You heard it. Okay, our next question comes from FGN209. And he writes, "Dear Dave the Santa, I want Step by Step Season 1 on DVD. Well, I guess that's a done deal. That Suzanne Summers is hot."
You know, Dave the Santa. She's in her 60s now.
I don't care. She can jingle my bells and deck my halls any day.
All right then.
She can make my silent night less silent.
We get it, Dave the Santa.
The 8 nights of Hanukkah will be a lot more memorable with her there.
Oh, for God's sake.
She can give me a raging Christmas tree while I fly my sleigh, and then I'm gonna take off.
Hey,
That's
it.
enough.
That's it.
Well,
All
I
right,
guess you get
all right.
the gist of it. Well, I guess that's all I have for. Oh, wait a minute. There's one more letter here for Dave the Santa, and it's from Volvagia. Did you send me a letter, Volvagia?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. It's right here. It's right here, Volvagia, and it says, "Dear Dave the Santa, last week I ripped my kilt on a fence while running out of a barn which was full of sexy animals. Please send me a new kilt." Volv, is that true? You ripped your kilt?
No.
Oh,
believe
I'm
Dave
sorry,
set me
young
up.
man. You've been a very naughty boy this year, and Dave the Santa does not approve of some of the activities you have participated in. Dave the Santa will be dropping a fudgy down your chimney.
Somebody get this guy out of here. He's starting to freak me out.
Well, I guess that's all the time we have with me. I'll be back next year, boys and girls. All right,
Oh,
everyone say
whoa.
goodbye to Dave the Santa.
Bye-bye, Dave.
Get the fuck
Bye-bye.
out of here.
Oh no, Scottish Mafia.
Okay, I think that was the weirdest thing. That was
He
the
just
weirdest
strangled
thing
it.
that's ever happened in one of these podcasts. What do you
Where
guys
the hell
think?
the police at?
I myself am a little confused. I think that was semi-sexual. I don't know, man. That was just crazy.
I think he just got violated.
I think so too.
Oh.
Should we just move on?
We'll just move on.
Yeah,
Let's just move
try
on,
to forget
okay.
about it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Never gonna speak of it again.
So moving on now, folks. Let's get into a little bit of current projects and future projects about what we're working on right now. What do you think, Wolf? What are you up to right now? What are you planning for the
We're
new year?
still on the same things as it was like Thanksgiving podcast, I believe. I'm still on the same things. I'm playing New Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Wii, and I'm still playing for it because of the fact I really don't have the time for it right now. It's that time of year, things are busy, can't really be bothered some of the times, but I wake up at a certain time that I should be. But it doesn't really matter. I'm still on the same thing, and I will get it finished eventually. Not in time for Christmas, though.
Awesome, man.
Well, you're fired. Get the fuck out.
Oh.
Wow, that's a bit rude. That's not Christmassy at all.
Well, I think Dave the Santa just showed up at my house.
What's he doing?
He's got a big black eye, Dave. What did you do to him?
Well, I punched him in the face. I kicked him in the throat. I don't think he's in good health right now. I think he's hurting bad. What is he doing at your house? Is he looking at you through the window or something?
I'm gonna turn the lights off and shut the shade. Anyway, all right. What are we?
Yeah, Dave the Santa. I think, I don't think he has any magical powers or, he can't do presents. I just think he's a psychopath. I think he escaped from some mental institution.
I think he loves children.
So, yeah, just shut the shades. Shut them. And, Scorch, why don't you tell us about your current projects and future projects and all the whole shebang bang.
Shebang bang. All right.
Shebang
Well,
bang.
I've kind of reached a point now where I'm not really working on much. I got Dragon Age still that I'm playing. That's still going to continue to be a very long and lengthy one. But I just finished Assassin's Creed 2. I got really into that towards the end of it, so I spent most of my time on that. And now that I'm done, I'm kind of just laying low for a bit because I don't want to get into anything huge for the time being. I might do a Super Nintendo game or two, but no guarantees, and not really sure yet. So I'm kind of boring for now.
Yeah, that happened with me after I finished Final Fantasy IX. I just kind of wanted to chill with more smaller projects for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not take anything on too huge. But what about you, Zach? What's going on in the world of Shadow Zach XX?
Oh man, there's so much going on.
Uh-oh.
Like, I'm still working on most of those projects from last podcast for some reason.
How much of it was paid for? Wait, I know the answer to that.
You're a
Sorry.
funny guy.
Please
All
continue.
right, I'm still working on Fuel. I started the Saboteur. I recorded Age of War. I just haven't uploaded it yet. Dirt 2, Need for Speed Shift. I finished like Modern Warfare 2 campaign and Spectral Ops. Now I'm preparing to do like a big old multiplayer Finanza, whatever you want to call it, video collection. And then
All right, so what else you got going on, Shadow Zach?
well, I got the SWAT 4 thing probably coming up. A big split screen co-op, maybe. I don't know how that's going to pan out. And that's pretty much it I can think of. No, nothing.
Hey, Zach, why don't you tell the viewers what happened in part 99 of Borderlands?
Uh,
I don't know. Tell me.
I was running around this whole map by myself because somebody wanted to go get the little bonus thing. So I was fighting my whole way through there, punching left and right, shooting everything, killing all the bad guys. I clear out, then some asshole come up behind me and gets a chest and takes my shotgun that he doesn't need or deserves.
Oh my.
Let the viewers state that everything is not true.
Oh my.
Everything is
Zach
true.
is very
and
bitter.
It's been true.
Zach is still sending me death threats, and I don't feel comfortable.
That sounds like a complete and total shame. I'm sorry to hear about your misfortunes.
I know.
It's a real tragedy. Volv, what do you think?
Zach complains too much.
I complain too little.
So anything else? Anything else you got in the future, Zach? Any more projects?
I don't know, but I'll never tell.
Okay, so me personally, what I've got going on is, well, me and Volv, we're still doing that SOM co-op, right, Volv?
Uh-huh.
How much fun is that? Are you having a lot of fun?
It can be fun. It's just like, you can't exactly do everything you want to do, because
Whoa.
Dave's like, time to level up, Volv!
Whoa.
Time to level up!
Whoa, so wait, sometimes it's fun, meaning sometimes it's not fun?
Well, only when Dave beats me with a whip unless I level up my
Okay,
character.
okay, thanks for that, Volv. We don't want to know about your kinky sex games.
Okay.
That'll be enough of your shenanigans.
It's not a sex game. He
That'll be
abuses
enough
me.
of your shenanigans, Volv. No more
He
shenanigans.
Oh.
You disgust me.
Call him shenanigans.
But yeah, other than the Secret of Mana co-op I've got going with the Dirty Scotsman, we also have I'm doing Chrono Trigger still. I think I've been doing that thing since Thanksgiving. I don't know. I think it's been about a month maybe. But yeah, that's a big one. That'll probably take me maybe another month, a couple of weeks or whatever. But besides those two games, I got like more Game Anyone exclusives. I want to do a couple of them. And, in the next month or so, I got some other great surprises. I think it'll be really neat and dandy when I reveal what they are. Scorch, are you excited?
I have a semi. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just let you know. If
Okay.
that's excitement, then.
All right. So, other than that, that's pretty much all we got going, I guess. Those are the games we have in the future and in the near time. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next segment, which is Q&A. Who doesn't like some Q&A? Calm down. Calm down, Scorch. I said Q&A, not TNA.
What? TNA is better. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I said Q&A. But let's see. Let me take this first question here.
S&M?
We got on the forums. Someone says, "Was there ever a time while making a walkthrough that you almost gave up?" That's an interesting one. Scorch
Gave up what?
gave up on the
Dave
walkthrough.
Gave up virginity of his asshole? Walkthrough. Okay, let's see. Actually, there's been a time where I actually did give up, when I was playing Rygar for the Wii. It's a fucking terrible game. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It was terrible. The control was horrible, and it wasn't really any different from the PS2 version, so I just stopped. But, yeah, there have been some times where I've been playing games that, I just didn't feel like going through, because, you start it, you're motivated at the beginning, and then, you just kind of lose steam.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't quit Vagrant Story. I'm still working on that. It's about a year and a half in the making now. Titan Quest I kind of put on hold. I'll probably pick that up in a little while. But yeah, I mean, I've managed to finish everything else as far as I can tell, other than Rygar, just that shitty game.
Yeah. Me myself, I was thinking about it, and nothing really actually comes to mind. I always have said on certain videos, what I start, I finish. I'm not going to give up on anything, but I haven't really come across a game that's been really difficult, I guess, or something I'm not unfamiliar with. So I've been kind of in a safe level. So I haven't really been.
You always play stuff you tend to know.
Yeah, I haven't really almost quit on anything so far, but I could almost see that happening maybe in the future when I get into some other crazy shit. I don't know. It could get nuts. But other than that,
He's gonna quit Desert Bus.
Nothing. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess. I almost quit Desert Bus. I don't know.
I
Not
think
really.
technically you did quit because it doesn't ever end.
Yeah. You know what? That is true. Technically, I did quit a game because that game doesn't end. I crashed the bus. I crashed.
Quitter.
I crashed it.
Game over.
But I don't know, man. I think that bus is gonna resurrect itself. It's like a horror movie. Desert Bus Part 2, The Revenge.
Ghost Bus.
The Revenge. Awesome. So Shadow Zach, what about you? Ever almost quit?
The actual game I ever quitted was Mirror's Edge for the PC because it was made by EA. So EA, they don't really make good PC games anymore. They're all buggy and they don't work right when they first come out. It was unplayable to say the least. But I almost quit like 4 or 5 projects at the same time when my video card exploded, and it was like,
Exploded?
It exploded.
In your
It
pants?
didn't explode. It just died on me. Well, it wasn't in my pants, but I put it there afterwards.
Okay.
That thing is warm, man. It's like a good crotch warmer.
Crotch
All
warmer.
right.
But yeah, the only game I ever quit was Mirror's Edge, and I almost quit all my other games when my video card died.
Why did you quit Mirror's Edge?
It was buggy and didn't work good.
Oh. All right.
It would crash and stuff.
Awesome. So, Volv, what about you? What's going on in Volv Town?
In terms of quitting games,
Yeah.
I've only ever quitted a few games, I think. I can't remember exactly what I quit. Oh, well, my YouTube account got suspended on YouTube, obviously, and that was in like 2008, I believe. I had a few games in progress, and we're at like part 40 or something, and I didn't have the original renders anymore. But because of the fact that I didn't know if the guides, didn't get back up until they were entirely complete, I just kind of got rid of the files on my computer as I uploaded them because it was running out of disk space at that point, didn't have a big hard drive. And I quit Vice City Stories, and what else was it? There was another game I quit. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Majora's Mask, but I'm in the middle of doing that right now. I just don't have the time to upload anything at the moment. So, I mean, my internet speed is pretty crappy. That's the United Kingdom for you, so it doesn't matter.
All right.
Like.
So, hey, Volv, I mean, speaking of your suspended YouTube account, I mean, that's why you have the new account with the Glover handle that you have now, right?
Randall, yeah. I mean, I bought that because of the fact that originally I didn't plan on really going back to YouTube for the sake of, going back to YouTube. I planned to make things exclusive for the game anyone hates stuff and all that kind of crap. And it was just a case of when I went to YouTube again, I was like, I'm not going back unless I have some reason for me to keep going back to it. And I wanted that account because of the fact that it has no time limits on it. I can upload a video for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, basically. It's a really good nifty thing.
Wolf, you're forgetting one important detail. No one wants to listen to a Scottish person for more than 10 minutes.
I find that untrue.
10 seconds, man. Come on.
That's untrue.
I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say it.
11-minute max.
11 minute
2,000
max.
people want to.
10 minutes.
I feel like I've just learned something. I've just learned more about Volv, and I thank you, Volv, for teaching me.
No.
So that's a pretty good question. That's a good question. We got some good questions on this podcast. Only 2 more, but they're pretty good. And this one's interesting. How do you deal with comments/remarks that clearly aren't constructive criticism.
Oh boy.
I think we should start this one off with a bang and ask Scorch first. Hi, Scorch. Start this one off with a bang.
Okay, so how I handle comments that aren't constructive criticism. Well, I'm certain that a lot of you probably already know how I handle comments that aren't constructive, because I am 2009's most meanest, apparently. So for the most part, you can kind of tell that a lot of these comments are just from ignorant people who just want to go and get on your bad side. So you can ignore quite a fair amount of them. A lot of them will probably just be like, "Oh, why talk over the game when you can just play it?" Or, "You should have done this when you did that." And "I don't really like this game. This game sucks." And it'll be stupid stuff like that. But every now and then you get, when you read all your comments, and I do read all of them, you get so many, and it gets to a point where it starts to be like, this is really kind of annoying, and it's sort of ruining the fun. So it's sometimes hard not to respond to someone in such a way that just kind of makes you look bad if you think about it. If you start lashing out at a viewer for not liking your stuff because, God forbid, everyone has to love you. Sometimes you just kind of have to choose your battles. It's there's a few people that I've just blocked and not said anything, and some that I've actually came completely unglued on and started a flame war with. But I have to say that for the most part, I like to give everyone the chance to clean up their act. So I'll always tell them what I think and give my side of the argument. And more often than not, it's not effective, but it's actually worked on a couple of trolls. I've actually turned them into subscribers, believe it or not. So to each their own.
That's a little weird.
It is a little
Turn
weird.
the trolls into subscribers.
Yeah.
But anything else that comes to mind when it comes to, not so much constructive criticism?
It's hard not to take it personally, even though, this person doesn't know you. They don't know anything about you. It's just a voice on the internet. But it's hard to not treat it like, some guy standing right next to you, like, "Oh, man, you fucking suck." You have to kind of make that distinction and, step back and not let it bug you.
Well, Volv, what about you? Same question.
If it's severe enough, it just get blocked. Simple as. Well, it depends really. If it's severe to the point where I don't want to block them, I'll respond telling them that they're a douchebag, basically. But normally it will just be something like, because of the fact I have an accent, I speak faster. It's just generally that sort of thing. But it depends on how they actually word their sentences. So it's like, dude, slow down. It's like, dude, when I listen back to it, I can hear myself perfectly fine. And everyone else who's American or whatever can seem to understand me at a pace that I talk at. So what's the point of me slowing down for you? So I just generally respond like that. But it's a case of, if it's something a bit more harsh than that, then they instantly get blocked. I don't even deal with it. Block, delete, comment, gone.
Yeah, I can see that. But it's just the way God made you, Volv. It's just the way God made you.
It's
With
like
that
when you
accent.
kill someone, you don't let them retaliate. You just silence them.
What about you, Zach? I'm sure you've gotten some
what
criticism
about me, man? Where do I begin?
about your videos. Let's just say.
Well, I try to take pride in myself as probably having the most blocked people blocked.
Uh-oh.
I'd say I have more people blocked than some people have subscribers.
Oh no.
But pretty much 2 words. If the person's just saying you suck, I usually just ignore them because they're probably just an ignorant little fucktard. But,
Whoa.
Hey, I have strong feelings about bad comments. I don't take well to it. But if it's a whole sentence, they're instant block. If it's a paragraph, it's a block, and then I'll flame them so they can't respond back. Now it's like they point out how wrong they are and how inconceivable and pointless their comment is, and then I'll make sure they're blocked so they can't respond back.
Zach, you sound a little bitter.
I'm always bitter, man.
You sound bitter.
It's idiots, man. I'm one of those competitive players. I don't respond well to criticism.
Zach is a competitive gamer. I'll give him that. He's competitive.
But yeah, I block people. If you say more than 2 words.
What do you guys think about all that?
I don't like to give people the satisfaction by blocking them, because it just seems like it's the easy way out, I mean, enough's enough. I agree when you get to a point.
But it's not the whole thing about life. Taking the easy way out. Just gonna just cruise through it. Sit back. And
Yeah,
block.
I mean, me myself, yeah, I don't really block. I don't block too many people, and actually, I'm gonna say this. I don't get a lot of annoying, flaming, trolling criticism or comments when it comes to my myself and my videos on GameAnyone.com. Actually, as much as I do on YouTube, I get a lot more crap on YouTube, which is kind of interesting when you think about that, huh?
Just a
Yeah,
bad community.
I'd say so. I mean, you got a lot more trolls that are just out there looking for any old video.
I
to
guess because
comment on.
YouTube's YouTube.
Do
YouTube's
either
YouTube.
of you three have, like, my biggest peeve is somebody, if they say your video sucks and then they recommend somebody else to go watch.
Oh
Yeah.
god, don't
That's
even
what
start.
pisses me off the most.
But
Majority of the time that I get is a cam job. You know, when the
Ah.
other guy will be using a fucking camera to record the goddamn video. This would be an absolute nightmare to look at.
I
Never
mean,
used a camera.
other than the more negative, sometimes trolling comments I get on YouTube videos, most of them I just ignore. Like, I do read all of them. I go to my mail, I look through all the comments, and if I see something that's just extremely negative and, you suck, fuck you, I hope you burn in hell, something like that. I just delete it and, whatever, block the guy, just, ignore it. I don't say anything. Sometimes it gets annoying when people tell me how I should act and how I should do my videos when it's really my choice and my options of what I do and how I do it. So that stuff like that gets annoying. Like, look, man, I'm just doing my thing. I don't. There's not any rules. There's no rules I have to obey. I'm just gonna do my thing, and that's that.
Yeah.
If you like it, you like it. If you don't, move on. It's my business.
I think that's what pisses me off the most. It's not so much the negative comments; it's the people that think that I should be doing something different. Like, you should do this instead of that. It's like, no, I don't think so. I'm playing a game. You should watch and be quiet.
I mean, if it's constructive advice, then sure. But if it's just some guy telling you there's something different in the game, like play differently because of that's the way he plays, then yeah.
Use the fire rod, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, for the fire rod.
But anyway, whatever. I ignore a lot of comments. But I get a lot of great comments. So you got to take the bad with the good, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that,
You overlook the good ones because the bad ones are assholes.
So we got one more.
Thank you, good viewers.
We got one more question here, guys. This one's a doozy. You ready for this? Okay. What were your first impressions of each other? Comma. Be honest. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Let's see, this one could probably go for a while,
Uh-oh.
so let's keep
All right.
it short.
Zach.
And sweet.
Zach, let's start with you.
Where do I begin? Well, I thought Volv, because when I first met him, back when we were doing the desert bus, when you got us all in the same call, I thought he was just a quiet, shy, full guy, and now I know he's just a quiet, psychotic evil.
I'm an
Scottish
asshole.
mercenary mafia guy.
He almost-
I thought Dave was just a big dick. 'Cause he was just talking trash, making all the mean comments and stuff.
And then he found out that he was right.
I found out.
Now,
He's
go on.
just an ass. I don't remember much of Scorch. He was just there that one. He was just there. He just showed up. I didn't really get a first impression. I can't remember.
Dude,
No.
the first time,
Scorch.
the first time we met, we were playing, or really talked. We were playing Lord of the Rings. Stupid
Was
asshole.
that
We
when?
forgot about that. Yeah, that's when we first really started Skyping to set that up, because we were like the first ones to ever do a co-op split screen kind of.
Let's take that back. I thought Scorch was an all right guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway,
That was the first impression,
All right.
anyway.
but I guess I'll deal with this. See, I didn't really know Volv until I started going to the site, but coming from like how I would see his posts as a moderator, he seemed like he was a strict motherfucker, which he is, I guess. Pretty harsh at times. And then I started talking to him, and I thought he was pretty cool. I did listen to his Super Mario Brothers walkthrough, and I thought, I saw all the comments about people not being able to understand him, and I was like, oh, I don't fucking care. It sounds cool. So that was good. Zach, I think I hated Zach at first because I found out that he always got his games early, so that none of us that wanted to do them could, be the first to get it out there because he was always on top of that, which nothing changed.
You can say, man.
I think I did leave a comment. I was in the forum actually. I posted some stuff about him. I was like, this guy's a dick, and he shouldn't be allowed to do this. That was. I think that was pre-director days. So
what about me?
Dave? Actually, I didn't think you were kind of an asshole because I've been watching Dave since his early stuff, and his early content isn't nearly as involved or emotional as some of the stuff is now. He sounds like he's tired all the time. It might be his old computer.
Yeah.
You see,
it was my recording stuff, my cam studio.
He's a lot more mellow. He did his own thing. I think I suggested one time that we do a co-op, like before Game Anyone, way before that. And he was like, "Oh, that's not really my thing, but I'll think about it." And and then I think when I first started noticing that he was a big fucking asshole was I think just spending all the time Skyping, talking about site stuff, and then Desert Bus and all that stuff. So
Oh, that was awesome. Oh, Desert Bus made us all come together as a big family. Thank you,
I never
Desert
heard
Bus.
of Dave until Desert Bus. Like, I just saw the green guy posting in the forum saying, "Who wants to get on the Skype call?"
Well, I wasn't green back then.
Well, whatever color you were back then.
I don't remember.
Yellow.
I saw Dave looking for directors.
But is that it? Is that it for you, Scorch?
Yep, that's it.
Volv, what about you? What were your first impressions of all of us?
I remember watching some of your Lithia 2 parts and then just being like, he seems okay, but then when it came to Desert Bus and you were threatening to kill Mace Man, I thought you were a big asshole.
Oh, but come on, man. It's Mace Man. He fucking deserves it.
That's true. Eventually, I tend to agree with him when it came to killing Mace Man. It was about, I don't know, a couple of parts later. I got so tired of hearing, like, how he was gonna kill him. I was just like, just do it already. Kill him. But yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Mace a lot on Desert Bus.
Yeah, him and Zach were the first two.
But what about everyone else?
I never really got it. Well, I spoke to Zach once, but it wasn't actually speaking to him. It was just for text, like telling him that his stupid video didn't go HD, and he was cool about it. But then he never responded back after that, so I just thought, fuck it. But I never really spoke to him until we started playing. Until we started getting Monopoly. You remember when we first started playing Monopoly?
Oh man.
It was like that was with Garrick and stuff, and that was like when we started to get to know him. So it became easier to get to know him. He was alright since then. And Scourge, I never really spoke to apart from on the forums and when he became like admin and stuff, and well, from moderator to admin, until he was on Desert Bus, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And then when
and then when I got promoted, Zach Vol had to like me because that's the rule.
That's the rules. That's the rules. It was okay. I mean, like, when we first spoke to each other, it was like no arguments or anything like that. I don't think I've really had to really argue with you anyway, Scourge. Just mainly being other people, but doesn't matter. Like, I mean, in that sense, it's a case of everything's been fine between the three of us, apart from a few mismatches and bops that really don't really matter or we don't really bring up at all anymore.
Awesome, man. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. But what about me? What do I think of? What did I think of you three at first? Well, I thought you all sucked. Oh, be honest.
Tell something we don't know.
Okay. No, but first impressions of you three, like Zach, for instance. First time I talked to Zach was on the Desert Bus, of course. But before that, I saw Zach around the forums a bit, and like he would never really talk, and I thought he was kind of like a stuck-up dick, actually. Before I ever talked to him, Zach, I thought you were a stuck-up dick.
I've explained myself. I don't talk on the forums unless there's something relevant to my interest.
I thought Zach was a stuck-up dick, but then I was doing Desert Bus. I think Mace is the first guy I got on there, and then Shadow Zach. I don't know how you wound up on Desert Bus anyway, Zach. How did you?
you posted in the shout box. I
Oh,
said,
yeah,
I want to be up in there. I was like, Mace Man called me in there.
Yeah, so Zach got in there, and my real first impression of Zach, I guess, like, he was laughing. I remember Zach was just laughing at
Oh,
everything
yeah.
while recording Desert Bus. So I thought he was like Mr. Giggles, like some stoner, like Mr. Giggles. That's pretty much my first impression of Zach. It's just that, like, he would laugh at everything, and he was just, like, laid back and all that kind of crap. But a little later on in the Desert Bus, like, I would talk to Volv on MSN a couple of times about the site. Nothing too big because, you know, he was a mod, so I would ask him certain things. But yeah, we called Volv in alongside with Garrick, who is a member of GameAnyone.com. We don't really talk to him much anymore. Anyway, we called Volv in, and I remember a couple people talking, and then all of a sudden I heard this really low voice, and it just sounded weird. I can't do it. Volv, say something.
What do you want, Dave?
Okay, just something like that. I was like, holy crap, who the hell is this guy? And it just sounded like some really serious, you know, intense person. And that is not Volv at all. Volv is not a serious, intense person at all. Like, I just thought you were, like, really crazy and, like, just not really humorous or easy to you know, make laugh or something like that. But no, that's not really true at all. And then I think a little later in the Skype call, this was all in Desert Bus. Desert Bus just started everything. We should all celebrate. We should have a Desert Bus Day on Game Anyone, don't you think? Not liking that.
Terrible.
Not liking the silence.
I want a T-shirt.
Okay, yeah, we should sell T-shirts on Game Anyone. But anyway, well, Desert Bus T-shirts, I should say. Anyway, Scorch came in a couple of videos later than Volv and Zach and Mace and all that, and Scorch just seemed like an average, typical dude, laid back, you know, easygoing, I guess you could say. I don't think we.
Except we
What?
actually talked before that though, because we tried to play Final Fight CD.
Did we?
Yeah, we tried to do that. Remember, I was talking to you, and I was trying to be like, set this shit up, go set this up, and you're like, I don't fucking know. It's in the garage. Who gives a shit?
This was
You know,
this was before Desert Bus.
This was before Desert
Man,
Bus.
I don't even
I'm
remember.
pretty sure.
I
Yeah,
don't even remember.
because we talked doing that. You know, it wasn't a big deal, but I remember one thing that you did that I don't think anybody else that I've ever talked to did was you farted into the microphone.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're just like, here, check this out. You just ripped the big one into the microphone, and I was like, what the hell?
What did you
It
think
didn't
of
sound
that?
like much, but I don't know. It's probably worse for you than it was for me because you had to smell it.
No, I didn't smell anything. I remember that. I remember that specifically. Mace Man was there too. I think that was the first time I talked to you guys, and you guys were just talking about shit, and like I farted into the microphone like 3 or 4 times. You probably thought I was a crazy asshole. Did you think I was a crazy asshole?
We kind of know where you were. I don't think we knew you were as crazy as you were, but yeah, I think at that point we had some sort of impression that you weren't just a goody two shoes guy just doing his thing, you know. You had a little bit of a strangeness to you.
But yeah, you know, that's it. That's it for me then. Those are my, you know, first impressions of you guys. So, did we get to everybody on that one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think those were good, you know, question and answers. I like those. We haven't gotten into anything kind of like that. You know, the whole how do you deal with flaming trolling criticism, first impressions. Those are kind of neat questions. We like getting those, don't we?
Yeah.
Of course.
That was great. That was great. But moving on from questions into our next segment, which is all, of course, great. You know, the trivia section. You know, so you know, if you guys know the answer to these trivia questions, of course, you go to the Game Anyone forums, check out the podcast section. You know, write down your answer, and if you're right, of course, we award you with credits as always, right, guys?
Uh-huh.
Well, hasn't it?
And oh yeah, this year we have a special prize for those who answer correctly. It's Volv wearing a kilt and nothing else.
Oh no.
It's like a sexy poster for your
Picture.
wall.
It's a pinup guy.
Yeah, you don't want to pin up a Volv? Volv, what do you think about that idea?
No.
No?
No.
Maybe we'll keep that on the back burner. Maybe we'll bring that in next time. But anyway, Scorch, I think you got the first question ready for us.
Let's see. All right, so we're gonna put up an image here, and basically you just need to say what video game it's from. So, what video game is the image that's on the screen now from?
Are you looking at the screen? I know it.
All right. I know it.
I know
All right.
it.
So there's one thing I'll say is that this was not an official release for this particular console, so it's not going to be like a mainstream title, but it is out there on the internet. So if you know what it is, you can find the name.
Yeah, it's like fan-made.
Yeah.
But, all right. So, Volv, I think you got the next one lined up.
Oh, and what RPG did Santa turn into an evil monster because kids no longer believed in him anymore?
That's an interesting question.
It's sad.
He turned into a big, scary thing.
Santa
He was
turning
a
into
pain
an
in the
evil
ass.
monster?
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a crazy game, huh?
I know, right?
Game sucks.
All right, Zach, I think you got the next one.
What is the title of this video game box art? Yeah. Box art right there. Box art's that. What game?
All right, awesome stuff. And finally, our last question, our last trivia question. In what 16-bit game can you steal presents from Santa by sneaking up on him? As you can see, all of our trivia questions are Christmas kind of related. You know, they got that whole thing, that whole vibe going on. I think it's appropriate, right? So if you know any of the answers to these trivia questions, like I said, go to the podcast forum and try and be the first one to answer. You'll get prizes. Good stuff. Awesome. Awesome trivia. Yes, I love trivia. Who loves trivia?
Boo.
I love trivia.
Volv is a negative Nancy. Anyway, moving on. Before we wrap this up, since, you know, we've already discussed Christmas, what we're doing on Christmas, and the whole shebang bang, right, guys? The shebang bang. I think we should talk about one more subject at hand, and that's our New Year's plans. New Year's, come on, man. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. It's going to be crazy. January 1st, 2010. We're getting into the tens. From now on, we're going to have to say something like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Lighten up. It's the tens, right? Is that what we're going to say? The tens?
No.
The tens? Yeah, it
I
sounds
don't know
ridiculous.
what I'm gonna say, honestly. I'm certain a lot of people are probably gonna say 010, like,
Oh, 10.
it doesn't make sense, but because it's, the last 10 years we've been saying that. I wonder if in the 1900s they said 09.
I don't know.
Sounds so cool.
Pretty soon we'll be old men.
In 09.
We'll be old men and we'll be like, come on, it's the 30s. And, when you say that, I just think of the 1930s, way back in the old ages. The old
No,
ages.
it's fucking crazy. Think about it.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Let's see. So I guess I'll start this one. For New Year's, I don't really know what I'm doing. We usually do something kind of like the day or so before New Year's. We get like a bunch of invitations, and then we decide, okay, what are we gonna do? What do we want to do? And then on New Year's Eve, we kind of just make a decision and then just kind of roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
But we might go into downtown Seattle this year or something. Not really sure. Or just hang out at some friend's house and watch it on TV. We're not big New Year's people, really. I'm a boring motherfucker, I'll tell you what.
But you got any, kind of crazy New Year's stories from the past or anything?
No, because we never really did much. I mean, the friends that I used to hang out with weren't so nuts that weird stuff would happen, and I don't always like going out because I'm not like a big fan of the crowds or whatever. Driving in any downtown city is a pain in the ass, so I usually try to avoid it. As a result, I don't really go out to a lot of clubs and deafen myself with all the music and stuff. So I don't really think anything's happened.
All right, so
Anyway.
Volv, what about you? New Year's plan-wise, you got any stories from the past or anything you have planned for this New Year's?
Nothing so far, to be honest with you. It's too early days, but I know that it's only a week after Christmas, but to be honest, I leave everything to the last minute, so I don't really have anything planned.
So you just playing it by ear, just...
Yeah, whatever
Nothing in
pops up
advance?
is whatever pops up, so...
anything come to mind in the past? Any crazy shit that's ever gone down?
No, not
No,
really.
no Scottish kilt rumbles.
No. No.
Uh,
No, Dave. We're not allowed to talk about that. Remember?
Oh, all right. The courts and the lawyers. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Zach, what about you? You got any crazy Southern New Year's plans going on down there?
Well, this year is probably like the first time I want to be actually spending New Year's with my parents. Like the last 3 or 4 years, I've actually gone to parties with my friends. Stories I cannot share over the podcast. Crazy
Don't bring
shit.
it up, you asshole. It's like dangling a carrot in front of people. and
I know,
being
right? It's
"No,
like dangling a carrot.
You're like,
Yeah, but this year, because like last party we had over there during the summer, like somebody brought some drama in there, so they didn't want to have a party New Year's now.
Any fighting? Fist fighting?
No, it was like fucking mellow dramatic teen drama, you know, fucking dating my ex-girlfriend, why'd you bring her to the party? I hate you. Why you eating little bits to me today? It's like,
Okay, yeah, I get it.
not me, but you know, these two dudes.
Yeah.
Hypothetically
Bad
speaking.
vibe. They didn't want to have a party there, so I guess I'm just gonna hang out with my parents this year.
Hang out with your parents. That's an interesting one.
But his mom wants
Oh.
a $300 blender, remember?
You know what can
Factory
be
and
interesting
Martin
though? Getting drunk with parents. That can be a weird thing because your
No, man,
parents
I have fun. I drink with my dad all the time.
they get out of control kind of. Like parents get
Oh.
like tipsy easier. You know, older people. They can kind of get a little crazy.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Speak from experience. but so that's all you got going on then, Zach?
Yeah, probably I'm just gonna go out and buy me one of those like pork wine cheese balls and get some like Triscuits.
first he has to get on that blender.
All right, well, for me personally, like, all right, talk about New Year's. Well, in the past, I guess I could say, you know, I've had parties in my place. My friends have had parties at their places. Awesome stuff, man. New Year's and alcohol. I don't know what it is about it, but it always leads to getting a little bit of booty, I think. There's always a little bit of action, from small action to large action. I just love New Year's and strange women who I don't know and just have met. Good stuff.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, it's great. But I want to, you know, kind of a cool New Year's story from a couple years ago. Me and my buddies rented this cabin up in the Poconos. It's about like a little bit more of an hour drive from where I am. So, you know, we head up to the Poconos. You know, really small cabin kind of a place, you know. It was like several of us. But, you know, they had bunk beds, 2 sets of bunk beds. There's like a pull-out couch and then a room with a big bed. And, of course, you know, the couple, there was one couple there, and, you know, they always get the big bed because, you know, that's how it is. So the rest of us had to sleep on the little bunk beds. But, you know, that was fun. It's interesting. Bunk beds are fun. Who doesn't love a good bunk bed? But anyway, you know, we're just chilling up
I
there.
had one too.
We bring, you know, I brought the PlayStation 2, which was like a lifesaver for us because, you know, they didn't have a DVD player, they didn't have cable, so, you know, while we sit inside, basically, we would just watch DVDs on the PlayStation 2, and, you know, I brought some games, but whatever. When we weren't inside drinking games inside or watching the TV and, you know, all that crap, we would be outside. Now, the cool thing about the outside would be, you know, there's a deck. It's one of those decks and the staircases that lead, like, down the hill. Like, the house is kind of up on top of the hill, and you got the staircase that goes, like, really far down. And below the staircase, you know, in the backyard, there's this big fire pit, and behind the fire pit, there is this huge fucking lake. Huge lake. And, of course, since it's about New Year's, it's fucking cold. The lake was frozen solid. I think it's probably a good thing that we didn't venture out onto the lake. Actually, I'll get into that a little later. But, you know, during the nights that we were there, the couple of nights, we would, you know, drink the beer by the fire. We'd roast up some marshmallows, all that kind of crap. We had this huge big bag of popcorn that we brought from a movie theater. Like, I'm talking like a trash bag of popcorn, you know, like
Sure, a lot of popcorn.
a lot of popcorn. So, you know, we would just sit there by the you know, the bonfire, just chill out, do our thing. And like all of a sudden, I remember like there was this noise coming up from behind us. And we were like, what the hell? So we turn around, and there was like 5 deer that like just kind of coming out of like the woods, just out of nowhere from next door. And like this was kind of like a community. Like there were houses, up and down the street. Except we were the only ones there. Like no one was around us. We could have like murdered people and thrown the bodies in the lake, and no one would have ever known because there was no one around us. Except for these deer, and they just came out of nowhere, and we're like, holy crap, like, they don't seem to be afraid. I guess they were attracted by the light of the fire, and they were just coming over, and I think they were a little bit on the tame side because, being the Poconos and being around these houses, they probably, they're used to all the guests, and they're probably expecting handouts, which we gave them. And I remember, we were feeding the deer, and I put some popcorn in my hand, and I held out my hand, and the deer actually this deer just walked up, ate the popcorn out of my hand. I even remember the deer licking my hand, which I remember to wash as soon as I went back inside, because it's a fucking deer. But anyway, that was kind of crazy, just, these animals coming up out of nowhere. But other than that was a cool New Year's. We would drink the beer and throw the empty bottles out onto the lake ice. A couple of them broke, and a couple of them didn't. We woke up the next day, we looked out onto the lake, guys, and there was just beer bottles all over the ice, and we're like, oh shit, we're probably not going to get our deposit back. So, actually, this is not a smart idea, but my friend, he was one of the more skinnier guys. He walks out onto the ice, and I'm like, dude, if you're falling in, you're on your own. This is a bad idea. He's like, man, I got to get these bottles. So he was walking out onto the ice, and he was, like, really far out there. I mean, this is a big lake. But he picked up, like, 10, 12 bottles or whatever, brought them back. And we did get our deposit back, I'm happy to say. So, yeah, that was an awesome New Year's. That's one that sticks out in my head. For this New Year's, I'm probably going to go over to my friend's house. They recently purchased their first home. So I'm probably going to be over there this New Year's. That'll be awesome. Woof! So what do you think of that story? We should have a Game Anyone New Year's. We should all meet up at the same cabin. How about we do that? We meet up at the same cabin, and oh yeah, we'll get Mace Man really drunk. We'll carry him outside and throw him in the lake. What do you think?
I'd have to say don't say that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Now I just ruined the plan, right?
Well, and it's not that. It's if it does happen and he does go on the lake and we don't go in for him and he dies, then we're eligible for this forever.
All right, well, I guess because we spoke of this on the podcast, we'll have to come up with some other scheme of murdering him.
Yeah.
Anyway, whoa, hold on. This is not in the Christmas spirit here. So, I guess that's all we got.
I was just thinking so we didn't have any uninvited guests. Yeah. That was what I was going for.
So I guess that's our New Year's plans. Good stuff. What do you think, guys? Has it been a good podcast? Has it been a good Christmas?
I don't know. Christmas hasn't happened yet.
Christmas hasn't happened yet, but yeah.
It's about to happen. Well, it's been Christmas all December, man.
It's the Christmas season. It's been a good Christmas season so
It's been a good Christmas season.
Yeah. It's shaping up to be good.
So,
it keeps snowing, Dave.
I hope everyone's looking forward to your Christmas and your New Year's. New Year's, do the Dave motto. Get out there, man. Get out there. Get drunk. Get crazy. Don't be violent. And don't drive, of course. But, have a fun time. So what do you think, guys? Should we call this podcast a wrap? This Christmas podcast a wrap?
I think so.
Awesome stuff. Just want to remind you all of the Game Anyone raffle. We're always raffling off awesome prizes. So, be sure to check that out. And, of course, go to the podcast forum and, post more questions for us, and maybe we'll read them out on the next podcast. Good stuff. So, I guess that's it. Happy holidays, everybody. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Merry Christmas.
One of you.
Happy Hanukkah. And happy holidays. Good stuff, man. We'll see you next time. We are out.